Motherwell better placed than Jim's Dundee United. Both sides have had their problems this week, though, with United's European collapse in Belgium and Motherwell falling victim to a virus attack which made team selection difficult, to say the least. For all that, they produced a cracker of a match, as Archie McPherson discovered.
Well, Motherwell enjoying a much better season than of recent years. They've got the problems today, of course. Cusack is out, and so is Tom McAdam. But it's a very experienced team with a blend of youth as well. And the amazingly talented David Cooper, who's playing out of his skin just now for Motherwell. And, of course, he's the very player to give them class and high standards. There's Dundee United coming back from one of the worst games in European football. They've got a marvellous record there, going back over 2 decades, but they've made changes in the team, most notably in defence with Alan Main, the young 20-year-old keeper, coming in there. Stevie Murray says he's mature beyond his years, and of course, in this Premier Division, you need to be. And there's the referee for today, Douglas Hill. And look at that. Motherwell have given 5,000 free tickets to school children from Lanarkshire, and they've come in goodly numbers. I think they've brought some of the art class with them as well, and some of these mothers are going to have a job wiping faces when they get back home, but that's a heartening sight. Two notable features of this afternoon will quite simply be how Dundee United can pick themselves up and show that they are not a club in decline, but that they're in a cycle which is against them at the moment, finding it very difficult to replace class players like Paul Sturrock, and with Paul Hegarty certainly not what it used to be in the past. That is a big problem for them. And for Motherwell, of course, wanting to prove that that result last week at Easter Road was a mere little hiccup, and that they are a team of substance this season. Right away, Dundee United. I think the wind might spoil the game today. It's very strong indeed. Well, that gives you an indication of how strong the wind is today, and I think we're going to get some rain before the afternoon is over. Just touched away by Maurice Malpas, and kick hoists a huge one by Davy Cooper. Superb pass by Cooper. Picked up there by Riley. Came on last week at Easter Road. Now Cooper operating in a low midfield role there, lying deep. Now Malpas to young Alan May. McGuinness hoisted after Patelainen. Hasn't got wings in his feet, and that wind really carried that ball and deceived McGuinness entirely. Barely reaches the halfway line. McCart doing very well defensively for Motherwell. Snatched back there by Tom Boyd. There's Philippin. Looked a bit clumsy by John Clark. Free kick and quickly taken. Gagan battling his way into the wind. Well, that's not a bad ball. Kick was behind it. There's Boyd. Sweetly taken by the youngest captain in the Premier Division. Oh yes. Just this one little break by Motherwell. Not the greatest of clearances by David Neary, and look at that. Clean as a whistle, and Alan Main despairingly down for it. And that is with 14 minutes of the first half gone. That has stunned Dundee United. Boyd. Cooper wants to take on the defender. Riley. United have everybody back, bar 2 players. Well away by Clark. Philibin follows up. Cooper. On to Kirk, a little bit too much, I think. Kirk fights well for that. Tries to lay it back. And United cannot get the clean shot in as Gagan turns. And all that came from a little flicker of magic from David Cooper on the left. Tenacity by Kirk, deciding not to give up. Watch this, little flick there. But he could not get a clean strike at the ball, and eventually the move petered out. Nice turning there by McCart. Playing very impressively for Motherwell too. Another youngster. That's Riley picked up to Davy Cooper. Operating that great left foot of his. Useful ball! And that might just be a no. Just past from Dougie Arnott. And certainly the more enterprising play coming from Motherwell. Getting players into the box well, and Arnott fighting very hard for it, just touching it away, but a corner kick. Driven in, and well, I wonder, I'd like to see that one again, because I wonder if Kirk really put Philibin off. Watch it as it goes in there, yeah? I think Philibin was in a much better position coming in from the back. And that should have been number 2. Madeleine takes his eye off that. Burnley. Malthus, no danger. Ball's beyond Kirk, Pratalainen. Preston. David Mary. It must be Guy fed up with some of the stuff he's watching in front of him. That's a better ball. McGuinness. Quite right to try that. The trouble is, his colleagues haven't been doing that as often as they ought to with the wind. Really very shot shy, but not Gary McGuinness. He looked up and it whistled in, just going over there. Touched by Boyd. That's offside, yes. Well, referee just waves play on, but no question Dougie Arnott was offside. Almost getting there. That's a very good drive by McGuinness. Sweetly struck. And the 2 most direct shots that have been in goal have come from the fullback, although offside was given eventually. Arnott. Cooper, offside. Out came the United defence very quickly. Patterson, he doesn't get it that time. There's a great chance. Oh, very good goal. Michael O'Neill, the equaliser. Yeah, just got the impression United coming more and more into it. They might catch out this defence, and they did on that occasion. I say a very good goal because he's had few opportunities. Never all that easy if the goalkeeper's advancing on you, narrowing the angle and the fullback's converging, but he kept his head. And that's with about 7 minutes of the first half remaining. On better football from United now as go offside. It's O'Neill, the goal scorer, with it. Oh, and he went too far wide, but there was Jackson coming in and Davy Cooper. Well, an excellent defensive clearance with a head. Neil trying to get a little bit of freedom. Bowman, that's a tantalising one. Alison Maxwell has to pause while players get forward. Looks to on it, that's a very good run now. Burley! Be pushed there. I would have thought so, but ends up a throw, Dundee United. And there goes the half-time whistle. It's one each. Motherwell certainly had the edge earlier on and thoroughly deserved that opening goal by Tom Boyd. Very sweetly taken, although I don't think David Neary will be too happy with his heading clearance. And there they were, but you've got to credit Dundee United. At one stage, early in that half, they looked demoralised, looked very flat and jaded, but they worked and beavered for each other, and then they got the break. Excellently taken by Michael O'Neill for the equaliser, and that sets us up for what I'm sure is going to be a very interesting second half. There is a free kick right away. And with the score 1-1, and with them playing with a very strong wind at the backs now, one would still make them slight favourites to edge in front of United. Oh, there's a red card. Oh dear. John Phillippen. Well, was it something he said? But he's off. And after having said that Motherwell are favourites to edge in front, they're now down to 10 men. Well, let's just see what happened here. Up the ball went. There was a challenge, and the referee pointed upwards, and there was a collision, yes. And the referee spotted that, and watch Phillippen, number 5, going up and challenging for this. Seemed to be all right then. And as the ball breaks away, there's an elbow going right into the face of Patalainen, and off you go, John. And on the side there's Patalainen. That's not a bad ball at all. And offside, and this could turn out to be a rather turbulent game now. Motherwell starting off with the advantage of the wind and sun in their favour, now down to 10 men. It takes something of fighting spirit apart from skill to lift them up. Gagan. Cooper was calling for it on the far side. Kirk tries to go in, and a very good save by Alan Bain. Tempers are definitely frayed, and I think the United players were claiming that that was a very late challenge. We've really got a game in our hands now. Now this is coming from the run by Gagan, and as this is touched forward, watch Main coming in with it. That initially was Kirk. Down goes the goalkeeper. No, that was accidental. Motherwell, full of fighting spirit now. Cooper screaming for it. There he is. Nice little ball through Arnett. Cooper wanted it back. Kirk Tries it, Ship! And Ligaman seems to have lifted this Motherwell side. Hemming Dundee United in, and Arnott and Kirk combining there. And there's an attempt at swilling it round. Maxwell getting plenty height, and Len. That's a corner. Motherwell, I think, slightly fortunate they got that, because Kirk, it seemed to me, was striking for goal, and that would have sailed over. So another of these difficult Davy Cooper corner kicks, wind assisted, curling in yet again. Oh. Well, the goalkeeper didn't need to move, but I'm surprised he was not put under any great pressure, just swilled in. Look at the way it comes right across to him, and I think Kirk was appealing, but he might have been pushed there. The referee, in fact, having a word with Kirk. Obviously complaining about something. Nice clutch by Riley. Kirk. It had come across. Jimmy Dolan. On it. No real sting in that.